Hello, everybody. I am Louise Eddington, the Cosmic Owl of Cosmic Owl Astrology. And before we dive in today to look at the Aquarius new moon, I am going to ask you to subscribe to my channel, leave me comments, leave me thumbs up, share the video if you enjoy it, and look forward to more of these every year. I'm also going to have some guests come on throughout the year for some of my new and full moon podcasts, and I am also going to be doing more interviews throughout the year. So there's a lot coming up on my YouTube channel, and if you check the little bell, you just get a little notification that I've uploaded new content. It's not really very intrusive. So anyway, let's dive in. We have a new moon coming up on January the 21st, 2023. The first new moon of the year. Now, this new moon also happens to be the start of the Chinese New Year. So I'm not a Chinese astrology expert, but I can read, and I'm starting to kind of understand Chinese astrology a little bit more. And this is a year of a water rabbit. Now, the last two water rabbit years were 1963 and 1903. So it turns out that the Chinese New Year, or the Chinese year cycle, has a 60-year cycle. So it's 12 earthly branches, each represented by an animal year, and 5 heavenly stems, which are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And interestingly, 60, the cycle, is a 5 Jupiter cycles. So really the Chinese New Year, or the Chinese year cycle, is based on the Jupiter cycle, and that's going to be interesting when you see what card I pulled. But anyway, I don't want to talk about it loads. I just want to say that the Chinese year of the water rabbit is really a year where it's more gentle and calm. People looking for a more balanced life. There could also be movement and traveling, but it's definitely really a wave of calm, kind of a quiet constancy, I read, even in the face of any hurdles coming our way. And that all kind of feels very benefic, very Jupiterian to me. I'm a Jupiterian ruled person, and even when life seems to be going to hell, I tend to have this feeling that everything's going to be okay, and I really always kind of have this inner calm. I have my moments, but overall I have this air of calm, and this is what the water rabbit year is going to be. So that's an interesting start too. And in my year ahead predictions, I did a video, you can find that on my YouTube, 2023 preview of the astrology. I didn't talk about the numerology. We're actually in a 7-year this year. And the 7 is really about the collective consciousness and faith and spirituality. It's about mysticism and inner wisdom and kind of psychic abilities as well. All right. So the positive traits of a 7-year really are thoughtfulness, spirituality, healing, inner strength, quick-witted, but it all seems very kind of calm. Now, of course, there are yin and yang to everything, and the shadow of a 7 can be depression, pessimism, dependency, and stagnation. And perhaps those who are not as suited to calmness will perhaps display more of those. But I always think forewarned is forearmed. If we know that this is the vibe of the year, then, we know what we've got coming. Now, before we look at the chart and I start to dive into even greater detail, I did pull a card as usual. Now, I pulled the Wheel of Fortune, which happens to be the Jupiter card. And I want to read the quote for the Thoth Tarot from the Angeles Aryan book. That's all prosperity begins in the mind, and it's dependent only upon the full use of our creative imagination. And that's from Prospering Woman by Ruth Ross. But this is the principle of opportunity, breakthrough, and prosperity. However, I pulled it reversed. And this really is representing a warning to slow down, to trusting that the cycles, that the wheel of life, the wheel of fortune does turn. It can also indicate a little bit of lack of progress and setbacks, but I'm feeling this more as because we're not trusting the process. We're not trusting that it will unfold as the wheel of fortune always turns. Okay, so that kind of ties into me with this Chinese New Year thing of, I mean, it's always 60 years, but if we look back through the Chinese New Years, 1963, I was only 3 years old. So, you know, we're going to, most of us will not have much memories of these years, but a quick look at the history of 1963 shows that Jomo Kenyatta was elected the first Prime Minister of Kenya. The Ayatollah Khomeini was arrested in Iran. There was a US Equal Pay Act signed into law by JFK. JFK said segregation is morally wrong and it's time to act. Martin Luther King delivered his I Have a Dream speech and addressing the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. And JFK at the end of the year was actually assassinated. But until the assassination, I think that seems to be a year of real hope, dreams. I Have a Dream speech really kind of sums up the feeling of the year. Also, you know, Kennedy was very liberal, kind of wanting equal pay, equality in many ways, and so on and so forth. Now, if we go back 60 years before that, 1903, now history doesn't repeat, it rhymes. So, you know, don't think there's going to necessarily be an assassination again, but I'm looking back to 1903 and it seems there's not much major going on at all. If I look at on this day.com history, the biggest thing was that the Wright brothers made the first sustained motorized aircraft flight, piloted by Orville Wright at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. So that was 1903. Flight took off, the first flight, the beginning of things, but otherwise it was a pretty uneventful year historically. So may we have a fairly uneventful year. Anyway, as the year of the water rabbit, that is. Let's look at the chart and then dive into the astrology. And I'm going to try and really kind of move fairly quickly through this and then move on to all signs quite quickly. Well, this is a new moon in Aquarius, as I said, or it's an Aquarius new moon. It's in an out of sign conjunction with Pluto, so that does bring some depth to it. It's actually almost exactly by 3 minutes opposing the true calculation of Black Moon Lilith in Leo, and I'll talk more to what that means. It's in a T-square to dwarf planet Haumea in Scorpio. So this T-square is the real kind of big aspect in all of this. Excuse me. Other things quickly worth mentioning are that by 3 degrees, this is in a sextile to a Jupiter-Juno conjunction, which in Aries, which I will talk more about. And lastly, I do want to say that Mercury and Mars. Mars goes direct on January the 12th. Mercury goes direct on January the 18th. but they both go direct to 8 degrees, and Mercury rules the sign of Gemini. So we have a quincunx there. So before the new moon, we have both Mercury and Mars turning direct. They will both just be picking up speed. They're both still at their station degrees. So I'll talk more about that as well. And as well, the day after the new moon, Uranus stations direct, starting a period of 89 days where we have all major planets direct. Ceres will go retrograde, but I'm going to count the traditional main planets for this. So this is a very quirky new moon. You know, Aquarius is a sign that's very unusual, very different. Aquarius is very let me stop the share actually and dive into all of this. So Aquarius is known as the water bearer. It's but it's actually an air sign. It's the image of it is pouring water down to earth from the stars. Okay, so that's the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, as I said, is a very unusual sign. It's kind of very alienish, if you like. It's partly all about love, peace, and human compassion, but it's also it's a very intellectual sign. It's an air sign, so it's about communication. But it's also very much about sudden, expected, the unusual, the alien, and the ultra modern. Yet it's also a very odd sign, very odd as in unusual and unconventional, because Aquarius can be strangely conservative and really also about the very ancient and the classic. But Aquarius is generally quite far-sighted. It's the sign associated with kind of that genius energy, but also it can be the rebel or the rebel with or without a cause. It's independent, it's usually altruistic, it's connected to group energy, causes, and groups of friends, okay? Aquarius is also kind of very electric energy, all right? So you're getting a kind of feel for what Aquarius is about. The internet is very Aquarian. Computers are very Aquarian. In networking is very Aquarian. Okay, so you know, anything that connects large groups of people or connects the messages of the stars is really very Aquarian. All right, so often astrology has been associated with the sign of Aquarius in some ways, also other things. But Aquarius is generally quite broad-minded, quite tolerant, quite reformist, very inventive, very individualistic. It's kind of about flying your freak flag in Aquarius. For those of you that watch all my videos, I did make a Venus in Aquarius video that will go through the houses, but I'll quickly go through again. But really some keywords for Aquarius are things like weird, contortionists, liberators, also fanatics. It can be quite fanatical. Zealots is very Aquarius as well, and there's more, but I've kind of given you enough really ideas for it, okay, for the sign of Aquarius, so you can see what we've got going up. Generally, there'll be Aquarians are more associated to kind of equal rights for everybody. If you think of the sign of Aquarius, Leo is on the opposite side. Leo is kind of royalty, leadership, kings and queens. It's the emperor and empress. Well, Aquarius is kind of saying, I don't want any of that. It's more kind of egalitarian, if you like, and wants everything to be kind of spread out and for each to be able to do their own thing. So it's kind of got this weird libertarian socialist kind of mixed vibe, really, Aquarius, in so many ways. But and I don't mean that just politically, but it's got that vibe. Now, the fact that this new moon is in an out of sign conjunction with Pluto by only 3 degrees is taking us deep on this one, deep transformative change coming on this new year. And the opposition to Black Moon Lilith in Leo is really kind of bringing up the rights of the marginalized, leading from the heart, saying, what about me? Leo tends to be kind of like very dramatic and going, here I am, here I am, here I am. What about me? And here we have Black Moon Lilith in that kind of the shamed part of ourselves, that the shamed part that's too fighting for equality. Lilith did. She was the first wife of Adam, fighting to be absolutely equal, which is very Aquarian. But here she is in the sign of Leo going, don't forget me, I'm here, kind of thing. And in a square to Haumea, dwarf planet Haumea is the planet of creation. She is the planet of fertility and birth, the Polynesian or Hawaiian goddess of creation. She actually is the mother of Pele, so she's one of the original creation deities. And she is in Scorpio, the fertile composting soil, the good soil of Scorpio. So this T square, this fixed T square, which is because Aquarius is a fixed sign, Scorpio is a fixed sign, Pluto is, Black Moon Lilith is in Leo, the fixed sign, is really saying it's time to change. It's trying to really force to birth something new. And the outer sign conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn is really, he's finishing up the journey through Capricorn in the sign of the patriarchy, or the current structures of life that we live under, which have been very patriarchal. Capricorn isn't necessarily the patriarchy, it's just that we are in a patriarchal society. And it's saying it's time to change, it's time to shift. And when Pluto is involved in something like this, he's usually quite relentless, saying transform or be transformed. And one of my favorite expressions for Pluto is, Pluto takes away what you thought was your power and leaves you with what is truly your power. So there's a big sense of empowerment in this chart, and I haven't looked at the numbers yet. I will look at those in a minute. Now, there is that lovely sextile from the new moon to Jupiter and Juno in Aries. Now, if you know your myths, Zeus is Jupiter and Juno is Hera. They were husband and wife. They were king and queen of the gods. And here they are together in the sign of Aries, the first sign, the sign of the I am. They are saying we have to come together again. Juno is caught up to Jupiter, her husband, and they are saying, at 4 degrees, it's trying to create stability. 4 is a number of stability. And that is the lovely sextile. So the T square is forcing the change, and the sextile, the supportive sextile to Jupiter and Juno in fiery Aries with the air of Aquarius fanning the flames, is saying we can come together and we can create something better. It feels like a very fortunate new moon to my mind in many, many ways. And of course, a new moon is a conjunction, which is a new beginning. Now, I did mention about Mercury and Mars having just stationed direct. And Mercury and Mars are both at 8 degrees in a quincunx aspect to each other. Mercury is in Capricorn, the sign of the structures that we live under and the man-made laws. And Mercury is in quincunx to Mars, and Mars is in the sign of Gemini, which Mercury rules. And incidentally, Mars also rules Aries, the sign that Jupiter and Juno are conjunct in. Now, Mercury and Mars are in this aspect of adjustment. And this is really, to my mind, Mars being will, action, drive, pushing. It's the warrior, the fighter, but also the guardian. He's just been retrograde in Gemini, changing how we speak to each other. Is saying adjust that with the rules and laws that we do. We have to make these connections and adjustments to rethink the structures of society and how they serve community, which is also Gemini. There may be laws rewritten under this. There may be, laws just shoring up and strengthening and tightening up things coming out of this. And in your own life, you may be shoring up and strengthening and rethinking how your own structures of life really are built to last, because 8 is really the number of strength and infinity. Uranus stationing direct. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, so he's one of the rulers of this new moon. Uranus stations are always sudden changes and shifts, and this is on a new moon at 1 degree, and I'll talk about the numbers in a minute. And Uranus is stationing at 14 Taurus, saying, expect some quite radical and sudden changes and shifts coming from this new moon. But it's all about what we've been reflecting on and changing on. So that's going to be really interesting too. Now, Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius, and he's still in the sign of Aquarius on this new moon, adding to all the Aquarian vibe that I've talked about. But he's got Venus almost conjunct. Venus and Saturn will be conjunct the next day as Uranus turns direct. And Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where Uranus is turning direct in. So we've got this dance between Saturn, Uranus, and Venus in their signs, okay? And Taurus is about values, the body, all the material world. It's about sustainability and steadiness and stability. Taurus is very rooted, so we're being asked to really make changes that root us deeply in doing things for the good of the group. Now, I'm probably going to pop back to the chart in a minute, but I wanted to go through the numbers. Well, I mentioned that we're in a 7 year, so and that's very similar to the water rabbit year as we're starting into this year. It is a year where you're just seeking a bit of a simpler life, really, a little bit of a more flowy life, a life of more ease. And this, the actual new moon itself is at 1 degree. And number 1 is the energy of new beginnings, creation, and striving forward and progress. It's starting. It's about really just inspiration and attainment. It's saying you can do this, you can start something new, you can create something new. Now, this is on an 11 universal day, though. So the day is January, so it's the month 1, 21. So we have 1 plus 2 plus 1 is a 4, and it's a 7 year, and that adds up to an 11. So we've got a 1, and then we've got a double 1. And so this is the karmic master teacher number of illumination, enlightenment, inspirational, idealism, intuitive, psychic abilities, visionary, all kinds of things like that. So if you put all this together, you put this energy of this new moon, this T-square that's kind of forcing us to birth something new, all at 1 degree. And then we put that lovely sextile to Jupiter and Juno, Jupiter, husband and wife, God, queen and king of the gods, coming together in Aries, the first sign, saying, yes, we can do this. We can bring more stability, and we can do more for the good of the people as a whole. So this this new moon really has amazing potential to me. You know, of course, we have to actually do the work, but I kind of see that, you know, we're going to come up with innovative ideas. The new moon itself is also right, well, the first, it's at the 2nd degree of Aquarius. The 1st degree is 0. And we're entering into the age of Aquarius, and the 0 degree of Aquarius keeps being activated over and over again. And this is only at 1 degree. So it's really activating that 1st degree of Aquarius, saying, hey, it's really kind of time to move into this more egalitarian age, and to grow and develop something to perhaps, and at a personal level, you may find yourself wanting to not only kind of simplify your life a little more and calm down and trust the flow and feel into the energy of the life that we're moving into, and having a gentler life, but also perhaps doing something a little bit more humanitarian, perhaps, you know, going and joining a cause, joining a group. It could be something, for example, I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. We have a group called the Salt Lake City Air Protectors. I've considered joining them quite often because we have problems with our air here in the valley, and something ecological might come about, to be quite honest. And you may hear more talk of things like universal basic income, all that kind of things like that. Now, one caution about the 7 year that we're in, 2023, as we move into this first new moon of the year, is that the 7 is the most spiritual of numbers, but it often has an element of things having to come to an end before they're rebuilt. And so there's a lot of that in the chart as well, with that T-square, saying we really have some stuff to finish up so that we can move forward and come together in this more egalitarian way and support everybody. Each doing our part to support everybody, and less of this warring and fighting and so on and so forth. So I'm going to read the symbols, then I'm going to do all signs. So the Sabian symbol for this new moon is an unexpected thunderstorm. The need to develop the inner security which will enable us to meet unexpected crises. So I'm not going to read all the things he said. So he says, this is Rudyard, an unexpected thunderstorm could be given a very positive meaning in an arid environment, but the emphasis on unexpected tends to accent the sudden and dangerous character of the event. Such a thunderstorm in a region of dry hills can cause a devastating flood. At any rate, it refers to an event for which one is not prepared. And he says, this is nature's challenge. Okay, so now I'm going to put my own interpretation on this. This new moon is in Aquarius, and it's Uranus. Uranus is stationing. Venus is coming up to Saturn, which can be a reality check or two as well. This kind of feels like the unexpected. There could be some unexpected thunderstorms in this, literally and figuratively. You could be getting some major ahas that kind of feel like a big bolt from the blue kind of thing, and some of them may not be entirely welcome, but that's the lesson of the year, really, to kind of calmly accept that there are cycles and that we have to roll with the unexpected thunderstorms. I like the keynote, the need to develop the inner security, which will enable us to meet unexpected crises. Okay, that's, to my mind, the overall vibe of this whole new moon. This developing this inner strength, this kind of backbone, if you like, to enable you to just kind of weather all these storms that might come the way, okay, and deal with them calmly. Now, the Chandra symbol for the new moon is a woman strolling in a garden. She is unaware that she is being watched by elves. We adopt a split-screen mind when the outward frame of things seems so insistent that we must be reasonable and logical and make complete sense in a quantitative, functional way. But what happens is that the other side of our awareness, the outlawed side, gets very strong in the subconscious and stays alive. We can almost play off of it in emphasizing our skeptical or worldly approach to things. But there is a joke to it, for you are aware of what you are not aware of. You are tuned into the very things you deny. This kind of edge hones the mind and soul. It teaches invaluable lessons, not the least of which is to make way for the unknown while hugging the known close to you, knowing all the whole, how profoundly the unknown beckons. So there is a real unknown quantity to this new moon and to this year. It's got a very different vibe to all that we've had in recent years, or mostly that most of us have grown up with, to be quite honest. And in some ways, with these being in fixed signs, we're kind of just going to have to keep strolling through our garden, trusting as all these inner awarenesses come out that things are, that change is coming, and we're moving into the unknown, but that we have to keep moving day on day and day. Okay, so it's hopeful, but also I think there's going to be challenges. That, you know, Uranus stationing on the new moon is quite big, really, and Venus making the annual conjunction with Saturn on the new moon is pretty big. Both of those can be surprises, blocks, real kind of reality checks in your face around money, some relationships, or relationship to anything physical, really, people, things, and values. So there may be an air of, ouch, that's a bit of a reality check, but let's move forward, okay, and keep going. All right, so let's look at the let's quickly, I'm going to really have to quickly go through these. So we're actually going to start here with Cancer rising, because it just happens to be set on Cancer rising. So for Cancer rising, this new moon is all taking place in your 8th house. This is the house of intimacy. This is the place of the deep psyche, your very deeply bonded relationships. This is also shared financial resources and inheritances. It's you know, this is, how am I going to do things differently? You're going to get some deep kind of quirky awarenesses. Cancer rising, with this happening in your 8th house. This is happening really deep in your psyche, in your soul, and you may not be ready. It's all going to be quite hidden for this lunation cycle for you. So there's a lot of deep inner work going on, but there could be some surprises, really, around groups of friends and around your finances in this. Leo. For Leo, this is in your 7th house, and this is the nature of your relationships. It's all your significant relationships that can include your partner, but most importantly, it's about your patterns in relationship, what you're attracted to, how you compromise yourself. It's a new moon. How can you kind of act a little bit differently? How can you think outside the box and do relationships differently this lunation cycle? How can you make a new start in doing things differently on this cycle? Virgo. For Virgo, this is in your 6th house, okay? And this is the nature of work and work you do. It's your day-to-day work experience. It's your style of daily living. It's mentoring, it's health, it's pets. There could be some surprises in those areas for you this month, to be quite honest, especially on the new moon with Uranus stationing direct. It's kind of like some truths may come to light around work, health, or pets, and you may have to kind of deal with what comes your way and deal with these unexpected storms in those areas. Okay. Libra. For Libra, this is in your 5th house. This is the house of creative self-expression, joy, leisure, hobbies, play, romance, also children. This is kind of very fun. You can come up with this is a great house for you. This Libra rising, this is an innovative, creative month for you. You're going to really be able to think outside the box, do things differently that bring you joy, and so on and so forth. Scorpio, for you, this is in the house of your home, which is also the nature of your inner or private life and family of origin. It's a home, family, inner life. There could be some surprises for you in this area of the chart that you're going to have to roll with the wheel of fortune in that area. I think there's going to be a lot of inner awakening for you, Scorpio rising. You're by nature a very private person, and so this is all very internal for you. I think of that Chandra symbol, kind of walking alone up through your garden, but you're being watched by these naughty little elves, dropping these truth bombs and surprises and shocks for you that you've got to weather the storm inwardly. Sagittarius. For you, this is in the 3rd house. This is the house of communication, perception, the voice, what you think and talk about, your learning style, and it could be siblings, but this has a feeling, this is very much kind of making friends with your siblings. If you'd had some arguments, there could be some communication that's come that had broken down before. It's got the air of a real new beginning in this. And if it's about your voice and how you speak and what you're learning, you could be learning something that's quite innovative for you, or some information could come your way that really kind of changes your perceptions. Capricorn. So for Capricorn, for you, that's the house of, it's in the area of resources. This is your self-confidence. It's what you value. It's your relationship to the whole natural world, including your body. And it's also how you make money and your approach to earning and about your possessions and what you have. Aquarius is quite detached. You may be having a good clear out. You may be going, I want some space. Aquarius likes space. So you could be opening up some space based on your values and really kind of maybe clearing out a space to do yoga in your house or something like that. So Aquarius, it's all about you, of course. This is your natural style, your appearance. It's your face that you're putting out on the world. You're saying, here I am. I'm Aquarius rising. I am quirky. I am differently. I'm going to kind of, you might surprise a few people this month. You might go, hey, you've seen me this way. Well, no, this is what else is going on here. It's not that you are hiding. There's just more to come, kind of thing. Pisces rising. For you, this is in your 12th house. So the 12th house is really about connection to the mystery, magic, seclusion, all that kind of thing. This is really, I want some space. Okay, Pisces rising, you're a bit mergy. You kind of, you're a water sign. You kind of like to be with people and things. this month, I think you really want some space. You really want some time alone. Be a good time to go away for a couple of days on your own, or to start going out for walks on your own, but just to get some space for this month. So Aries for you, this is in the 11th house. This is community, friends, causes, social consciousness, politics. So for Aries rising, this Aquarius is in the house that's naturally associated with Aquarius. So it's very much to do with your social conscience. You could pioneer a charity, or you could start something that really gets you involved with a group, a collective, or speaking a bigger message out to the world. Okay. And Taurus rising. So Taurus rising, this is in your career house. This is your public self, your reputation, your visibility. This is really kind of saying, here I am. I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to surprise the world this month. Maybe not the whole world, but you know, your world. You're going to kind of go, hey, you know, change is coming. Here I am. This is what's coming, and we're going to start this. Okay. A whole new public face. And last but not least, Gemini. For Gemini, this is for you is in the area of sources of expansion and inspiration, experience of the divine, travel, and other cultures, higher education, philosophy, all that kind of thing. And so innovative, think outside the box, new ideas coming to you, exploration of new cultures, and just kind of going, you know, let's come together, the whole world, let's bring it all together for the good of everybody. That for you, Gemini rising, is what you're going to be thinking and talking about this month. So thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you've really enjoyed this, and please subscribe, keep coming back. I love to have your comments, and I will see you next time.